Kia ora, good evening. Two prominent Queenstown businessmen were killed in a glider crash in Namibia yesterday. Bill Walker and David Spate, between them, had almost a century of gliding experience and were on a reconnaissance flight when they crashed about 50 kilometres from the gliding base, and it's believed they have been killed on impact. Walker founded E-Type Engineering in Invercargill and was involved in several other businesses, including JK's and WBE, and was a former Skyline director. Spates was a descendant of Spates Brewery founder James Spate and was a well-respected farmer and first learned to glide in 1959, while Walker took up the sport in the 70s. Both men were key in the development of the Marama flying field. The second annual Child Poverty Monitor's been released and shows a slight reduction in children living in poverty, but reveals Kiwi kids are still more than twice as likely to be in poverty than our senior citizens. The 2014 monitor shows 24% of Kiwi kids are growing up in income poverty. That's 5,000 less than last year's report. This compares with only 10% of those aged 65 plus experiencing income poverty. 17% of children are going without the basic essentials like fresh fruit and vegetables, a warm house and decent clothing. Around 10% of children are at the hardest end of poverty. It also shows around 3 out of 5 kids living in poverty will live this way for much of their childhood. The report reveals over 40,000 hospitalisations each year of children under 14 are for conditions related to a social gradient. A special section on housing shows 43% of children in the poorest areas of New Zealand are living in a crowded home. Queenstown Police are continuing inquiries into an alleged kidnapping in the town last week. 38-year-old Peter Wilson and 23-year-old Joshua Vent are believed to be linked to the incident and are being sought by police, who say the alleged kidnapping could be resolved if the two men make contact with police. Police say the two men do not pose a risk to the general public, however they should not be approached. Anyone who sees the men should call police immediately on 111. Anyone with information that could assist in locating the men should call Crime Stoppers on 0800 555 111. Police this afternoon released an image of Lily Bowden of Queenstown, who's believed to be with Joshua Vent. Lily's parents are concerned for her well-being and have asked her to make contact with either them or police. Newly released statistics show Māori and Pacific smoking rates have fallen considerably in New Zealand, but National Tobacco Control Services say there's still plenty of work to do.
Māori regular smoking rates dropped by about 10% to 32.7% between 2006 and 2013. Pacific regular smokers dropped by 7% to 23.2% in the same period, according to data provided by Action on Smoking and Health. The data was collected during the 2013 census, but ASH has since analysed the figures and provided a breakdown of Māori and Pacific smoking rates according to District Health Board regions. Although regular Māori smoking rates have dropped to 32.7%, that's still more than double the New Zealand non-Māori rate of 15%.
The Invercargill CBD upgrade may not be until next year, but one Invercargill man has plans to give it a whole new look this weekend. Esk Street Christmas Market Day is back for the second year running, and Mike Sanford of What's On Invers has big plans for the city centre.
We want to turn the CBD into, for one day only, a big marketplace basically. From 10 o'clock there'll be sales racks, market stalls, bargains galore.
Where does this idea stem from?
Well, last year I experienced the Bonanza Day at the Windsor shopping area, and I thought we could do this here. So very quickly last year, about less than 7 days, we chucked it together very quickly with support from some of the local retailers, and we made it happen. And it was a success, and now this year we're building on it with some funding support from Invercargill City Council and the local businesses, and here we are, so year 2.
And you say it was a success. How so?
Well, it brought everybody together, the businesses together, and I guess the community. People were waiting 9:30 for shops to open to get the bargains, so it went really well. It's unheard of these days where you hear people waiting outside, so that was something inspiring.
How much preparation has gone into this year?
Well, pre-event, it's been going on for the last probably month, 6 weeks, so many hours a week, 10 hours a week here and there, and sometimes 15, 20, and then this week it's basically 24/7 to get it across the line. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I just hope the weather holds so we have a good day, and it's busy and people get out and enjoy it.
And who is involved in the event?
We've got a number of retailers sort of help behind the scenes, sort of a bit of a committee level, I guess, and otherwise it's myself and a number of volunteers or helpers. And obviously what's on Invers, we sponsor the event and promote it, so yeah, we're quite excited about year 2. We've probably got about 20-25 spotted around the CBD, which will be between Esk, D, Calvin and Tay.
And what will they be selling?
All sorts from, obviously the retailers will be having their racks and sell items out, as well as general market stores, from candy floss through to donuts, sausage sizzle, as well as other gifts and unique things.
Is this something that the kids will enjoy as well?
I think so, yes. Yes, we'll have Santa. Santa will be roaming the street, so if they get their photo taken with Santa, and we'll have lollies and balloons for the kids.
And the Esk Street Christmas Market Day runs this Saturday from 10 till 3. Stay with us. Coming up after the break, New Zealand motorcycle legend and author Hugh Anderson, plus we check out the lineup for next year's Buskers Festival. Welcome back. Yesterday we heard some of motorcycle world champion Hugh Anderson's greatest achievements, but right up there with his grand accomplishments was the release of his book. Hugh has put his beloved motorbike racing on the back burner to turn out his autobiography, Being There.
Because I've worked for 6 years on this book and I've done very little riding, I have a wee bit, but my bikes, the tyres are flat, the batteries are flat, and I've got several bikes. And no, I went for quite a long ride a few months ago. I hit a wall, with the book. I had to get out, had to go, and I went off for 1,200-1,500 k ride, and that's the only ride I've had in 4 or 5 years, and I've got quite a few bikes. So I'm going to have to re-find it again, to be honest. The book is something that I wanted to read as a child and a teenager. Like, I wanted to go to the Isle of Man when I was 10 years old. I think that might be unique. And I wanted to know more about it. I was an avid reader from very young. And through my teenage years, I wanted to know what it was like behind the handlebars, the steering wheel of a Grand Prix car. Nobody told me. They weren't writing autobiographies in those days. They were modest people. And the biographies are so far from the base or the reality that they're cold and distant. And what I've written is what I wanted to read when I was younger. I cried, I laughed, I can still cry. The people, to tell the people what it's like. It was the need to succeed. I had this need through lack of self-esteem, which came from various reasons. And so the need is with you 24 hours a day. You wake up and go to sleep with this need. And I was racing constantly. The only way I could stop racing whilst I was awake was reading a good book. To record, even for myself, but to record exactly how it is, and in as much as the need to succeed is greater than life itself. You're prepared to die for it. And one of the chapters is headed, accepting death removes the fear of it. And this is what you have to go through. You've got to think these things through. When friends have been killed, you see them lying there, pull the oil under the bike and pull the blood where his head is, and you carry on. It is a very good book. I mean, I can say that because the book has taken on an identity of itself. It seems strange to me. I'm a fairly ordinary guy, but it has. Like, I can boast about what might seem like boasting, but it isn't. The book is a very, very good book, but because it is, not because it's mine. It's actually written, doesn't seem to be written by me or about me. It's an odd thing, and this is part of the reason I think why it is a success. That I got completely absorbed in it.
Do you have any advice for budding young riders?
Enjoy what they're doing. Watch and carefully about what the good riders are doing and how they go about doing it, and don't be in a hurry. It's time, and don't go for a powerful motorcycle. Go for an underpowered bike and learn how to get the best from it, and stay with it for as long as you need to get the best from it. Then move to the more powerful machine, but don't go to a powerful machine until you're very, very competent on a low-powered bike. A bike that's too fast for you is the worst thing you could ever do. It'll ruin your career.
Preparations for the 6th annual Southland Buskers Festival are underway, and the lineup is said to be one of the biggest to date.
Everything from fire juggling to defying the laws of physics, the Southland Buskers Festival is coming back bigger and better in 2015. From January 29, there will be 3 days of exciting performances held across the city. A variety of local and international acts will perform for Invercargill crowds, including United States performer Alakazam, aka The Human Knot, and famous YouTube comedian Alex Clark. Event organisers said the festival had grown bigger every year and all performers were looking forward to more of the energetic Southland crowds.
Invercargill's Farmers Store, in conjunction with Hospice Southland, are encouraging Kiwis to remember someone special this holiday season.
A new partnership between farmers' stores and hospices throughout the country has seen trees of remembrance erected in farmers' stores nationwide. By giving a donation, Invercargill residents can write personal messages which will then be placed on the tree.
The Trees of Remembrance are a way for hospice to give back to the community by allowing people to place a tag on the tree with a message to loved ones they may have lost.
Do you find the public really embrace something of this significance?
Yes, we find that they do. It's quite a nice opportunity. At Christmas it can be quite hard when you don't have certain family members around you, so they quite like to place a message on the tree in memory of those loved ones at Christmas. It's just something that we can give back to them.
All money raised in the Invercargill store will stay within the community to support Hospice Southland.
Relief today for thousands of students around the country as NCEA exams come to an end. Over 143,000 students sat 120 exams over 4 weeks, with a significant number of exam sessions taking place at schools across the country every day for a month. Papers are currently being marked with the results entered and completed by Christmas. NCEA results will be available for students to access online from Wednesday the 14th of January next year. The day after results are released, students who have paid their fees and completed NCEA or university entrance will be able to order their certificates online. Answer booklets will be available for all candidates from late January. Next on sport, the ICC Cricket World Cup trophy. That's after the weather next. From the news team, good night.